Amazing, my love. So I am so glad that you are here. So I did host the sales activation and coaching experience earlier today, and I wasn't able to get through all of the questions. And so today, what I'm gonna do right now in this moment, on Zoom. So for those of you who are on my email list, you're actually, hi Meg, so great to see you. I love that you're actually here because um I'm actually going to be answering your question live and also doing the recording on Zoom. So we have you in two places. So I love that you're here because then that way we can actually have maybe some back and forth a little bit. So for everyone else, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read the question. So I still struggle to know my worth and value as a coach, and this makes it hard to even offer session for people, never mind feeling authentic in my pricing. She also shared, I finally figured out at least one of my niches, motherhood, and a second one is becoming clearer, which is imposter syndrome, especially in female nurses. But I still feel like an imposter when it comes to being a coach. I've been tapping for myself and I have some sessions set up with some classmates, but I'm currently still in this first phase of the question. Okay. Perfect. So I love that you're here with me live, Meg. And for those of you watching the recording on Zoom, we're just gonna see if I can help coach her through this live. Okay, so that first piece is I still struggle to know my worth and value as a coach. And I just want you to, as you're saying that, is there a part of you that feels as though I still struggle with knowing my value and worth as a person? So, Meg, I know you're here. So, if you can answer that piece first, then we can kind of see where this conversation takes us. So, do you struggle? And I just want you to allow yourself to really feel that. Is there a part of you that struggles? Okay. Okay. And I had a feeling that was the case. So this is so important for us to note is what I love about having our coaching business, having being an EFT practitioner, anywhere where we're allowing ourselves to be seen is all the parts of ourselves that isn't healed, that we struggle with, it's gonna show up in our business. Especially when you're offering something so intimate like coaching. Absolutely, but even more so as a woman. Absolutely, especially as a woman. So I love that running your business and even allowing yourself to expand your vision for what you desire professionally has allowed this wound to come to the surface because this is beautiful. So the top that I would love to encourage you to do is actually, even though I'm struggling with knowing my worth and my value, I love and accept myself exactly as I am, or I'm choosing in this moment to love and accept myself as I am, or I'm choosing or I'm open in this moment to allowing myself to love and accept myself exactly as I am. So I'm going to have you start out with that piece because anytime we have this struggle of I still struggle to know my worth and value as a coach, there is a part of us that struggles then with I am struggling with my value and worth as a person. So I want you, Meg, to work on that piece first, on healing that piece first. Okay. So that's going to be the top I would invite you to. And you're going to actually put coaching off to the side. So you're not even going to focus on trying to work on your value and worth as a coach yet. So that way you can focus on just this piece first is how can I deeply believe in my value and worth as a person, in my value, I am nodding, love it, in my value and worth of my presence of being with another person. Okay. So as you dig into that, a lot of layers, as you know, with tapping is going to come up. Perhaps there was a memory that you can help heal. You know, you're going to do some inner child healing to really heal that. And with a wound that's deeper, keep in mind that it's going to take multiple taps depending on how deep this goes for you. And allowing yourself, it's totally okay that this is taking longer than I thought it would to heal because this has been something that I've been struggling with. And just allowing yourself to really tune into that, feel into that, giving yourself that love and compassion, like totally okay that I'm in this space. Okay. Because there's almost a part of us that feels like I should be past that. After all, I'm a healer. After all, I'm an EFT practitioner. After all, I have all this emotional intelligence and knowledge. But instead, it's like, no, 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 we're going to go back. We're going to meet that part of us and say, totally okay, honey. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Of course, you're struggling with this. This has been something you've been struggling with for the last 30, 40, 50 years. So, of course, it's coming up right now because you're allowing yourself, you're opening. It's like you're getting ready to rise in your capacity to hold more, to allow yourself to feel more. So, of course, that wound's showing up now. And beautiful. I'm going to allow myself in this time to work on that piece. And so that way, because once you start working on that piece, then you're going to actually bridge that and bring that into coaching practice. What does that mean? So when now the struggle goes from I'm struggling to know my worth and value as a person to I'm struggling to know my value and worth as a coach. And so that's the next tab, that's the next layer. And what you're going to realize is the more you flex your muscle of coaching, of being an EFT practitioner, of healing others, of bringing your medicine into the world, you're going to latch on to what your clients say, not from a place, again, right? Because you already did the work of helping yourself to heal the I know I'm worthy, I know my value as a person. So you're not going to latch on it to mean that you need external validation from others. However, each time you are working with someone in any capacity, it can be for free, it can be in donation based, it could be hourly if you're still doing hourly sessions, is that when they start sharing with you how you have impacted them, how you had helped them to see things differently, to make those shifts, as you begin experiencing more of that by flexing those muscles, by flexing and using your gifts, the more you are able to tune into service. Because ultimately, that's the reason why you signed up to do this work. You signed up to do this work because you want to be of deep service. I don't know a single healer who has chose to become a healer just so they can make money, because there are easier ways to make money. No, it is because you want to be of deep service. And the more you flex that muscle, beautiful, yes, the more you're going to receive, not because you need the external validation, but you're going to receive the gift of someone else speaking life into you, reminding you of how powerfully you have moved them, how powerfully you have transformed them, helped them to feel a different way. And the more you can remind yourself of that. So something I like to do, a practice I would love to invite you into, is after you do a session with them, I allow myself after that session, as I'm pouring into them, after that has concluded, I just reflect, allow myself to feel so grateful for that session of how much that has brought me life, how much joy it has brought me to see what an impact I have made through this gift, through this modality to another human. And so that is what then allows me, anytime I'm feeling like I'm not good enough, someone else is better than I am. Why would someone choose me over another practitioner? Why would someone want to even want to do this with me? You're able to then remind yourself, hi, Graciela, so great to see you. You're able to then remind yourself of what it felt like to be in deep service of another human being. Okay. And I always say we tune into the body, why there's so much wisdom there. And when our bodies are used to feeling a certain way, so your body, for example, may be accustomed to feeling not worthy, may be accustomed to feeling small. What you do in that time is you allow your body to feel a different way. It moves a different way. And as your body remembers this, as it moves a different way, all of that, it starts reminding you of your gift, of your power, of your medicine that you bring onto others. Oh, so good to see you. So yes, I hope that was helpful for that first piece. So I know we're kind of breaking down your question here, Meg. And so there was that first layer, which is first working on healing that part of you that does not feel worthy or valued as a woman, as a person. The next layer, healing that piece of you that that desires then to work through feeling worthy and value as a coach. So those are the two pieces first. Okay. And then finally, let's move on to the next section. You said, Graciela, if you're here, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm actually just answering questions that I wasn't able to get through during the workshop. So this is exactly what I needed right now. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. So I finally figured out at least one of my niches, motherhood. Beautiful. And the second one is becoming clear, imposter syndrome. Coming clear, imposter syndrome, especially female nurses. Okay, so the first piece, finally figure out your niche, motherhood. Beautiful. So most of my audience, as you can probably tell just by the things I post and my branding, what I love about when we think about even branding, there's so many like, oh, it has to look this way. And for me, it's like, no, it feels a certain way. There's a vibration to it. Like even I know Graciela's on here. You go to her page and you feel a certain way. She exudes this energy and you receive that energy. And Meg, I know you've been doing like live taps with moms. The more you do that, the more you're actually drawing more of your audience to you. Just by being you. So you're branding all the pieces of your life is exactly what makes up your branding. So it's beautiful that you're including motherhood into that. And then, okay, so that's that first piece. So motherhood, so niche is motherhood. And second one, becoming clearer, is female nurses. So Meg, are you supporting mothers who are nurses? Is that kind of where you are thinking as far as your niche? Let's see. Just giving her a moment here to answer. And Graciela, I'm so glad you're here. No. Okay. So, are you thinking about it? Is that because you did put female nurses on here? So I wasn't sure if you were considering it. Two separate niches. Okay, perfect. So are they two separate offers then? There can be some overlap. Okay, perfect. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So then when you're looking at your niche for motherhood, for example, I want you to kind of get a little bit more specific as far as like what tabs you can really offer to support them. Is it that they're feeling so overwhelmed? They're feeling they're feeling in the trenches. Hi, I'm Meg. I help support women. I help support mothers who are in the trenches of motherhood. So you want to kind of pick one. It's like just to start with, right? Because you can always expand later. So it could be, and you're a stay-at-home mom, or you can say you're a working mom, you're a work from home mom, whichever niche kind of speaks to you. So it's almost like, okay, you're overwhelmed, mom guilt. Okay. Are you working with stay-at-home moms, work from home moms, moms who are working outside the home? Just kind of curious. Most of my contacts also work. Okay. So they're working outside the home. Perfect. Okay. So then your messaging, see how the more clear you can get with your niche, it's not that you're excluding anyone. So what happens is people are afraid oftentimes to kind of niche down because they feel like they're excluding others. But what I find is that the more you can start off small, you'll actually it's almost like you'll start off very small, right? So let's say you're supporting moms who are working outside the home. What happens then is you get to offer taps that's specific to that mom that you're thinking of. So you're feeling so much guilt from working outside the home, and anytime you're home, you're feeling so much guilt because you're trying to catch up on housework. And then you lie awake at night because you feel so guilty for not being present with the kids when you're home, and feeling so much guilt by not being fully present when you're at work because you're thinking about the kids. So, okay, that makes so much sense. Perfect. So did you see how I basically took a scenario from my life? It's always beautiful when we're our own niche, because oftentimes I find that our potential clients are a past version of ourselves. So this is beautiful, is that you're able to give very specific scenario. And what happens then is as you give those specific scenarios, she's going to see herself as you're typing. So see how by being able to give like very specific scenarios from something you experience, now is something tangible. So anytime I love working with like healers and coaches who sell what, you know, people often say are intangibles, because we're not like, we can't guarantee a specific like result. Like you're not going to get like an ROI on this. And so it's like, okay, when I'm trying to support someone, how do I get them to see that transformation? You get them to see the transformation by being super specific about their situation right now. It's like you have been struggling with mom guilt and you find yourself on the bathroom floor crying after a hard day at work or whatever that sounds like for them, right? And during this tab, I'm going to help you relieve some of that mom guilt. And so you can feel at ease and peace. So you see how you're basically like, this is the scenario. This is how you're currently feeling right now. This specific tab is going to help you go from this, for feeling this specific way, which is what they're trying to get away from, and help you to feel this way, help you to feel at peace, help you feel at calm and at ease. So that way what? So that way you can be a more present mom with your children. So that way you're not spiraling and having negative thoughts at night. You're not checking boxes and unable to sleep because you're so stressed about what's coming up for you the next day. So that way, when you're at work, you're not so worried about the kids and feeling like you're not a bad mom, and you're not feeling distracted at work and feeling unproductive, whatever they're struggling with. But you broke it down for them in a way where they see the value of what it is that you're offering to them. You see how if you were, Casey, oh, hi, love. I am thinking of you and praying with you, my dear. I hope that, please keep me posted about how your son is doing, okay? I've been praying for you, honey. Um, so you see how when you do that, when you give those very specific scenarios, they're able to then see that transformation. They're able then to see themselves, how you walk them by going through that tab, how that is of value to them. That is how you're able to then invite people to an opt-in. You can create, I know you've been doing live tabs, Meg, but what you could do now is, now that you kind of pinpoint, it's like, okay, I can offer a live tab where I can take them from this to this. And they're able to see from themselves. They're able to see themselves in your shoes, in, you know, because you're able to read their minds, right? That's the best copywriting, is when you're able to read their minds. And now you're taking them through that experience and saying, and in this tab, you're going to experience this, this, and this. Okay, whatever that is. But I hope that makes sense. Was that helpful? Okay. Hey. So I hope that part was helpful. And let's see, I still feel like an imposter when it comes to being a coach. Yes. Okay, good. I'm so glad that was helpful. And yes, I want to see that because I know you probably have so many ideas, but for what's working. And for me, it's like, no, 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 we don't go into what's like, how do I make this work? It's like, okay, I remember where I was at. This is the things they're struggling with. Let me create a workshop to support them with this specific transformation. One very clear one. Okay. Okay, beautiful. I'm so glad. Amazing advice. Amazing. So glad that was helpful. Okay. But I still feel like an imposter when it comes to being a coach. Okay. So we kind of talked a little bit about that in the beginning. And Brendan Burchard has this amazing quote where he talks about confidence. Confidence comes from competence. And when you think about competence, where does that come from? It simply is a muscle. It's simply the more you do it, even when you're offering it, you can do like, you know, the live Instagram, when you're doing it, even offering like a live workshop where you're inviting people in. Would love for you to join my live workshop where I'm gonna be tapping through guilt around being a mom, right? Something as simple as that. But the more you just flex that muscle, the more then your confidence level will rise with it, because that's really where it comes from. When I was going through certification through Jen's program, I remember I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know, am I going to remember the tapping points, and like trying to look down a paper? But the more I did it, the more I allow myself. And part of it is the more you start working on those two, my value, my worth as a person, the more you begin trusting yourself. And the more you begin trusting yourself, the more that begins evolving into, okay, I'm feeling guided and led to do a live workshop. I'm feeling guided and led to do this live. And the more you do it, the more confident you're going to feel as a coach. And so I hope that was helpful for you. Meg, did you have any last minute questions before I hop off here? Okay. All right, everyone. For everyone who is watching this replay, I hope this was helpful for you as well. And I will catch you later, friends. Okay, Meg, I will catch you later unless you have any last minute questions for me. You're feeling good? My absolute pleasure, my dear. Thank you so much for registering to attend the live workshop. And I will, so for those of you who did not catch it live, I'm good, hon. Perfect. So for those of you who did not catch it live, a replay is going to be sent out to you this evening. And I will catch you later, friends. Sending you lots of love. Bye, Meg.